Hi there. Welcome in. I'm Chef Jay Tay. Happy to see you back. Trying to get my cutting board scrubbed up here. It's all filthy. Ew. Hope you all are doing well. Get off of there. Go away. Not you. I like all of you. Stay here, please. Hi, Saucy. Hi, Will. Welcome, Soph. Hello, hello, hello. Hello there, Muskeg. Welcome in, JK. Hello, hello. Okay, those are good. These are good. We can get these out of the camera. Ote. Coffee. It's Arkansas night, huh? Why did it skip like the entire menu? Yes, I'm skipping Baker Island. Like there's like a whole other half to that description. What the heck, bot? Well, the plan tonight is we're going to be frying catfish if I ever defrost it. And I'm going to be doing hush puppies. And we're going to be doing cheese sauce. What do you think of that? I remember to grind coffee at least, right? Cool. Welcome in, Alex. So, speaking of defrosting catfish, only the finest quality of fish here. I guess we're doing 3 fillets. Yeah, Alex, I thought I had changed that to... Or no, that's in the actual coffee scene. This is just the cutting board scene, to give you a reference. The actual zoom-in coffee scene, I have moved all of that stuff over the top of the stove. But in general, when I'm at this scene, it's about the most out of the way I can get it while still having it. Yeah, I know it's sort of blocking the coffee right now. I could have put the coffee, something like that. That scramble wasn't very sticky. Would have helped if I had started the timer when I did that right. It's okay, we can guesstimate. It's what happens most of the time, whether you think you're accurate or not. It's a lot easier if you work a place that only asks for shots and beers. Fix my audio here a little bit if I can. Wait, what? I'm not running that on this? Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have that filter on here. I have to add a filter to this. And we're gonna move that way up high on that filter list. We're going to there. Let's try that. Let's see how that works for killing a little bit of background noise. Catch up with chat here. Chat's drinking before me. Hey, Saucy. I have a mobile food trailer that I don't know what I'm going to do with. Yeah, a lot of it is, so I wish I had... I mean, I could make another playlist. It's been a minute since I've made a new playlist, but it's all, you know, not good music because no one's making money off of it. And I need sugar in my cup, because I'm sweet. Do high protein, low carb meals and park outside of gyms. Okay. Parking outside of gyms means I need to leave the house, though. I guess we're going low on the dairy tonight. Because that was the last of my half and half. Welcome, Bland. Do I cater? No. I currently don't have an actual food business anymore. Yeah, until you realize that the real money there, Alex, is owning the factory that mass produces these for the entire nation. And that's going to be owned by Taco Bell or McDonald's or... Nah, sorry about that, Bland. Nice getting to meet you the other night, though. Let's see here. What am I doing for dinner tonight? Besides thanking all of you lovely people for joining me tonight and saying cheers. So we got our catfish defrosting. I think we can probably mix our, I think we'll do hush puppies first. How you doing, Chris? Welcome in. Yeah, I'm sort of annoyed the dinner command didn't include all of the plans for tonight. We're doing fried catfish, we're doing hush puppies, and we're doing cheese sorta queso. I did not know that Arkansas was the true home of queso. You know, I sort of felt the same way, Saucy, until I thought about it and realized American cheese. Like, we get the bad rap for American cheese because American cheese is really more oil than cheese. But I mean, everyone loves it, apparently. It's in everyone's cuisine now. What was I in here for again? I forgot, close the door, talk to chat because I was trying to remember what I was in here for. And then didn't get it. Since I'm making hush puppies, I'm gonna add some jalapeno into this mix. Actually, speaking of cheese, we could add some cheese into the hush puppies too. What is a hush puppy? It's a fried ball of cornbread or thick paste of resembling cornbread. So we'll add some jalapeno. We'll add some buttermilk powder. Hi, Nan Reader. It gets its name originally, like it's become like human food and is served in restaurants and all that. But if you think about the name, little fried ball of cornbread, hush puppy. We're definitely going to use egg, and we're definitely going to add some mustard too. Yeah, I came across that a couple of years ago, Alex, and yeah, I use it all the time for that exact reason. Most of the time when I'm using buttermilk, like, I don't want to use the whole thing. What's that, Soph? The ingredient challenge is tied, and everyone should vote for fried mozzarella sticks? I should point out that I think Soph has tried to get Sesame to win like 3 or 4 times now, even. Sesame does not make it past the final vote. We can throw some green onion in there too. I keep turning back to this fridge and finding new things I can throw in here. Next thing you know, I'm going to be throwing pepperoni in here too. Yeah, we're just taking that one out. Hey, Sniper, welcome in. I haven't gotten around to fixing your points, I'm sorry. Nah, we don't need that much in there. We'll take one of those off. Oh, hey, I've done all this loveliness and not shown any of you what's going on. So we got our egg. We got some whole grain mustard, green onion, little American cheese. We have our buttermilk powder, which is the white powder in there, and we have our cornmeal, which is there on the bottom. Thank you for the follow. We'll give this a little bit of a fork whisk with the egg. Get that mixed up a little bit before I try and mix it in with everything else. Solid pinch of salt. Black pepper. Cold water until we can get this to ball up nicely. I think that shall work. Let that hang out for a bit. Let the absorb a little bit, soften up a little bit before we fry it. Something like pancake batter and stuff like that, you can make that well ahead of time and let it rest, even a couple of days ahead of time, and let it chill in the fridge. Okay, so those are ready to go and ready to be fried. Let's do cheese sauce. Oh, maybe we won't. We're going to an ad break. I think I'm going to take a breather here while we go to an ad. Because I've been rushing around. Nothing was going right before stream yet again today. I'll see y'all when you get back. Best food this side of the Mississippi, huh? There's a lot of land this side of the Mississippi. Usually when people say that phrase, they mean the other side of the Mississippi. It's a little like saying New York City. Let's get some filtered water. Some non-lead water in my water glass. Let's see, we got everyone back from ad time, not quite yet. Kidney. Welcome in, Dylan, by the way. I don't know if I said hello to you earlier. Welcome in. Huh. What are we doing all for this cheese? Gotta save some of this for grilled cheese night on Monday. Been working on plans for that. Still trying to figure out what the ultimate grilled cheese would be like. Trying to think about what the ultimate grilled cheese would be. And more and more I'm moving away from it being... Well, I normally never grill my grilled cheese. I often griddle my grilled cheese. But even still, I don't think I'm gonna grill or griddle my ultimate grilled cheese. It's tomorrow night if you want to figure out what I'm talking about. So we'll start in on our cheese sauce, and I'll do that just by cutting up some good old American cheese. You can use American cheese, you can use Velveeta, you can use whatever's. And I sort of suspect that this recipe doesn't really have a roux going with it. But I'm going to make one anyways. I am cheating with my queso tonight. I'm both going to be... Oh wait, I forgot. I already made the cheese sauce. See? Cheese sauce. You say that's unattractive? You wouldn't want to eat that? I love this stuff. Salsa and cottage cheese. Get salsa with little bursts of cheese. Yes, happy Easter to those out there. The way you're saying that, Sniper, I'm gonna guess rabbit. Nice. Only shaking this in here because I don't have a ton of flour to shake in there by accident. And container's mostly empty. Maybe some of you remember this? Probably not. This is the queso, This is the leftover remains of the pico I made last Sunday. So I'm going to cook with it tonight, being a week later. No, we're not. We're not doing crappie tonight. We're doing catfish tonight. Normally this would thicken up a little bit quicker all at once, but we have the veggies in there now losing moisture, so we have the water we're putting in there adding moisture and the vegetables adding moisture. Makes it a little bit harder to figure out where we want to end up with how much liquid in here. But this isn't all of the salsa that I intend to add to this party. I am going to cheat and use some purchased salsa. Are we flipping cameras tonight? Are you working tonight, GoPro? Why are you not swapping for me? But I'm gonna add some of this in there. Turn that way down low for a little bit. And just let that cook like that and cook that flour flavor out of the roux while I cut up a little bit more or a little bit more cheddar. I gotta cut some off of this block though. This smells great, by the way. How you doing tonight, chat? Y'all doing wonderful? I hope you're all doing great. Sorry, water wins out over coffee tonight. We got this lovely smelling concoction going. Do I add any cheese powder? I have cheese powder upon cheese powder in this house. I don't think I'm going to. But I would not be shocked if cheese powder was sometimes a part of this mix. Just hanging around? Rock climbing? It's getting warm here again. It was 80s today. Glad it hasn't been super cold. Yeah, I want like low to mid 70s and mid to upper 60s if I'm going to be actually doing anything outside. That's in Fahrenheit, by the way. Out of curiosity, chat, how many of you are within arm reach of a tape measure? Two arms away from your I was watching another stream and like it was like a multi-stream thing, and like every one of the streamers there had a like, and I have a measuring tape like right next to my computer desk, and every single one of them had a measuring tape like right next to their computer desk. The reason I got to remembering that was one of them was a European streamer and joked that they had the tape measure there so that he could figure out what feet were when he was talking to his American audience. Which I don't think is the truth, but it was funny. And it's what got me thinking about that once again. Like, it's convenient too. I don't know. I just found it intriguing. That's a little too thick. That was almost where I want the sauce, but it was where I wanted the sauce with cheese in it. You can easily convert weight and length because we learned both briefly in school, but the temp you have to yeah. I actually spent a period of time there trying to remember Celsius to Fahrenheit, especially early on in streaming, but it just not sticking. You gotta pick the battles you can win. I'm doing cheddar and American for this. You'll often find also Monterey, since that Monterey is a very high-fat cheese. You could just see other things in here. I could see like Wisconsin brick, other things like that. You want good melting cheeses for this. I think that goes without saying, really, since we're making a cheese sauce, but I think we're getting to the point where they're not teaching anything in school anymore. Just ChatGPT it. Starting to stick here, which means we need more water in there. Hopefully our last inclusion of water here. Sort of amazing that there's no cheese in this yet, and yet it already looks a bit cheesy. And now we add our cheese. You know, I was gonna get out my fish pan and be all cool about it. But I think you're all gonna fit nicely in this instead. For those unknowing, when I say my fish pan, I went out thrifting. It's been about a year now, probably. I went out antiquing yesterday, by the way. I didn't get anything, but got out and walk around. But anyways, I got a big, long blue pan over there that it's up high, and it's up there because I only use it once in a blue moon. But it's intended for fish poaching or fish frying, or it's an enameled, long but narrow pan. It'll go over 2 burners. But since I have like pre-cut fillets of catfish, and they're not hugely long fillets, I'm gonna skip bothering with getting the fancy pan out, and we'll use it some other time in the future. It's great for if you want to do whole fish stuff. Like, you can't use pans for most of the whole fish stuff. That, or you're using a pan that's just like way too huge for... Alright, so we got our queso here. That is ready to go, our cheese dip. Oh, I was going to add more jalapeno to this, too. Because that was... I like my mild salsa if I'm just mowing down on salsa. But I like heat, too. And I think queso should have a bit more heat to it than just salsa. You'll also see people often just throw a can of green chilies in this instead of doing queso or salsa or... So we'll add a bit of extra jalapeno in there. And I'm going to cut the heat on that and just let that sit in the nice warm pan, and hopefully it stays liquid enough to use later. Because we got a little time still to go here. Is that oil deep enough for what I want to do tonight? No. It's got to be deep enough to get the hush puppies into there. I had the pre-used oil in there, and that probably would have been fine for the fish, not for the hush puppies. I think this needs a little bit more moisture. Even more. Salt and pepper going in with the queso. Why not little MSG too? Why not little Worcestershire too? That'll work. So we got this mixture chilling. Give that a little bit longer to soak up that little bit more moisture. Blast the flour in one. Couple of eggs in the next. And in our last one, breadcrumb. Not doing panko. It's not Japan. It's the South. Since it's the South, we're going to do cayenne. And lots of black pepper. Touch of mustard in there, partly for my opinion flavor, but also I'm worried about this breaking. It's just a cheese sauce and we can just bring it back together, but still. I guess I should turn the heat on for our oil, huh? Looking at each of these pieces of fish for any unwanted creatures. It's usually more of a thing with cod, but I sort of just look at any white fish. I don't know if I'm ready to go over there with that yet. We want that warmed up first. I think we're going to take a little bit of an AFK while we allow that to come up to heat. We are currently 180. We're somewhere between 77 and 195. Give that a little bit of a jiggle. And I will see all of you back here in about 10 minutes.
Off into space. Man, that takes real teamwork. And here's a team of junior spacemen with an out-of-this-world breakfast that teams up V8 juice and Cheerios for flavor and energy. What a treat! A flavorful glassful of refreshing V8 juice and Cheerios with power protein, plus vitamin B1 for Go Power. And now, here's a special out-of-this-world free offer. This Moon Rocket Kit, both a toy and an exciting game. First, blast off. It separates in midair and lands 2 spacemen on a moon map. You get this wonderful game only through this free offer. Send your name and address and 1 V8 label plus 1 box top from these specially marked packages of Cheerios, Kix, or Frostios to Moon Rocket Kit, Mount Vernon 10, New York. Get Campbell's V8 cocktail vegetable juice with any one of these Big G cereals.
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy-style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it there. All right, now, as you look at that, I don't want you to leave me, because I want to show you something, believe it or not, that a lot of people like even better. Suppose we were to take some fresh roasted peanuts here, and like Mary Ellen has been doing all evening, and putting them in a nut chopper here. Give a couple more little chugs, will you, please? Mm-hmm. I think that'll do it just fine. Now you find in there some just tiny little golden nuggets of roasted peanuts, and they are colossal. Now, I want to try something here. Suppose we were to take these, now let me try an experiment, do you mind, honey? And we'd sprinkle them over the creamy-style Skippy. Say, how is that, huh?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. All I did that for was to tell you that you can get that and enjoy it anytime you want. You won't have to go through any chopping process either, because the Skippy people do that for you in chunk style. That's done for you up in the factory. Now, chunk style, you see, has sprinkled all through it very generously through the entire jar those golden little nuggets that you saw there, just about like that. So that's already done for you there. Now, of course, either style, whether it's cream or chunky, if you get Skippy, you are getting the peanut butter that stays fresh right down to the last spoonful in the jar. And so I make it very simple again. I want you to know that this is an honest fact.
If you like peanuts, you'll like Skippy.
Something new has been added. The General Electric portable mixer now has a drink mixer for delicious shakes and juice drinks in quicker than a shake. An extra attachment at no extra cost. This GE portable mixer weighs less than 3 pounds, yet it's powerful enough to blend the heaviest batter. Also mixes sauces at the range. It has low speed for cookie dough, medium speed for beating frostings, and high speed for whipping egg whites. And look, this handy push button releases the beaters at a touch. And no dangling cord. You can remove the cord so it stores neatly on the wall. Comes in 4 decorator colors. See it at your GE dealers. Does any mixing job anywhere.
Yes, sir. If you want real entertainment, the best place to find it is in front of a General Electric Black Daylight big-as-life television set. Sports, comedy, drama, news, music. Yes, they're all yours merely at the turn of a dial. This model has a big 16-inch black rectangular tube that lets you see everything that the camera sees, true to life and as big as life. Sparkling contrast and sharp focus give you pictures of such clarity that you feel you're right there on the scene. The cabinet, designed and constructed by America's leading cabinet makers, fits gracefully into any type of room. Genuine mahogany veneers, hand-rubbed for lasting beauty and durability, are just one example of the painstaking attention to every detail, which makes this cabinet one that you'll be proud to have in your home. The precision engineering and careful assembly techniques used in making this General Electric Black Daylight television set are your assurance of television at its finest. See it in operation at your General Electric dealers tomorrow. And when you see it, well, you'll know that you're seeing the best.
It's the newest, most exciting sound in town. It's a General Electric blender that's going around. Completely new from base to lid. Take it apart, see what they did. The non-skid base is the lowest you'll ever see.
The decanter has a 36-ounce blending capacity.
The non-spill lid is really smart. For blending convenience, it comes apart. Add additional ingredients, if you will. Look, no splash, see no spill. Put them all together and you know it's true. The General Electric blender is best for you. If you want to know another reason why,
It's only 10 1/2 inches high.
stores easily on the counter or on a shelf. There's 1,000 things you can make yourself.
Make party spreads.
Great cabbage heads. Blend the meatloaf for a family of 8. Make ice cold drinks you'll appreciate. Now's the time for you to buy the General Electric blender.
Did he say only 10 1/2 inches high?
What? Keeping the coffee in the icebox?
Yes, Mr. Jones, it's a new kind of coffee, roasted by a new secret process. Hence, this new none such coffee has a different flavor, a flavor preserved by vacuum packing, the flavor retained by refrigeration after the jar has been opened. Just taste it. You can't miss that delicate aroma, that clean, mellow taste. Yes, in cooking, the way to a man's heart is most of all through the coffee pot. In every jar, you'll find 3 special pointers, valuable in all methods of making coffee. Try new none such coffee now. Use half the jar. If not 100% satisfied, get all your money back from your grocer without argument. Special for movie week, only 28 cents a pound, plus 3 cents refundable deposit on the jar.
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat, the best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
Say, do you remember this old milk glass setting hen? Well, you know, milk glass was an early American favorite. And when the folks in the old days wanted something really delightful, they'd take one of their milk glass goblets and pour some very fine wine right into it. Well, now, you know, it's Welch's wine that is keeping this wonderful tradition alive. A real wine for folks who really want the best. Yes, today's answer to this age-old family tradition is Welch's family wine, the answer to warm hospitality and really gracious living, and the wine that so many Americans enjoy these wintry days. You know, there is very good reason for this ever-increasing popularity of Welch's wine. Now, you folks know that all sweet Concord kosher wines are made from grape juice. And everybody knows who has been making the very finest grape juice for the past 85 years. Welch's, of course. And the only kosher wine made from Welch's grape juice is naturally Welch's kosher wine. Now, when you want the best in grape juice, you buy Welch's. So, doesn't it make sense then, if you want the best and most delicious kosher wine, you insist on Welch's family wine? You get several bottles tomorrow. Try the half-gallon size. You enjoy the wine of all occasions. That's right, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top-quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Daddy! Gee, Mom was counting on that Jell-O cake for Johnny's Scout meeting tomorrow. Okay, Daddy. It's so easy to make a cake with Betty Crocker cake mix. I'll make her another one. White cake, devil's food, yellow cake.
It's a good thing her mom's modern. I'm Betty Crocker. With my yellow cake mix, all you do is add water and a couple of fresh eggs. The other ingredients are in the package. Same fine things you'd use right in your own home. You'll get a perfect...
All right. Welcome back. Let's get the music going again. And let's see what we've got here. Oil is up to temp. Potentially beyond temp. I turned it down a little bit because we got up to 325. Let's turn our attention back to the cutting board here and getting these all nicely floured. Just getting the last of that flour on this last fillet. Move you into the breadcrumb section. Add you to the egg. Alright, let's see if our oil's up to 350 here. Ooh, we got a toughie in the scramble. I don't have the bot page up, otherwise I would give you a hint. Huh? You guessed it already. It was your second guess. Are you having issues, bot? I don't see anything wrong in the log. I don't have any warnings or errors in the log. Of course, I'm not getting a warning yet that we're going to add right now either. Yeah, I'm not sure why it didn't catch that for you. So. Yeah, it alerted me and we went to ads, like, immediately. Okay, bot? You okay? What's happening, bot? Alright, we're getting 350-ish. The bot shouldn't have, like... Before I was talking about the bot being, like, overloaded and all in the system. That's because I was trying to run a low-level Olama model on the system itself. That isn't there anymore. There isn't, like... There shouldn't be, like, huge stress on SprinkleBot anymore. I'm in water. Did that come across as words to you? I need more water. Wait, was it lying to me? on here. Oh. Sorry, Soph. I told you guessed it when you didn't. It's got the scrambled word all bright and bold on my dashboard. But the actual spelled one is much smaller. I looked at the wrong one. I was just about to actually give you 10 sprinkles for guessing it, too. If only I was fooled for a couple seconds longer, you could have had 10 sprinkles. Alright, now that I think we're probably back with everyone hanging out with us, we're going to go ahead and start frying. And turn the oven on to keep warm temp. I haven't done anything to keep these fillets straight. I'm now noticing that they're going to curl. Fish curls when you fry it. You can use tricks like putting a skewer through it or things like, if you want to keep nice straight things when they're frying, you can put a skewer in it while it's frying, then pull it out before you serve it. That happens a lot. People do that a lot with shrimp. Make sure we got that on all sides nicely cooked through. But that's looking like that's pretty much there. Nice puffy first fry there. Ooh, show everyone on camera properly. Then we come over here where it's not all blown out. Going with our second. Hi, Crow Henny. Nah, my fingers aren't that asbestos anymore. They used to be much more asbestos-like. in some cases, I haven't regrown nerve growth, but I haven't really killed it as much as some other people have either. I don't know how many people out there are familiar with carousel ovens. I've talked about this story before, but when I was on my externship, my resort hotel that I was working at, yeah, nerve damage on the end of your fingertips from repeated burning, repeated injuries. Yeah. I don't know how many of you are familiar with a like conveyor oven. It's essentially got a Ferris wheel of you got trays. You got like a little individual table trays that are designed to fit full-size hotel pans on them, or full-size baking sheets on them. And they would it's on a conveyor. They would go up and around the back and back up to the window. And so in the morning we would be doing tons of bacon on that. You throw them in there and they go through a revolution and they're cooked. They're ready. You know, they got it dialed in so that, you know, it makes one turn around and it's the perfect cook for their bacon. Until you get overloaded with how many pans are there. And every time I hear asbestos hands, I think of my sous chef that was there and would quite regularly take these hands bare hand out of the oven, and because all the rest of us were too slow handling all the other pans coming out of the oven, would be sitting there with pans directly out of the oven with his fingertips like this as I burn my fish. Because if you leave those pans still in the oven, they go another full, they're not going to be usable bacon anymore. What's on the menu with fried fish? Well, we're doing Arkansas right now. Typing exclamation mark now works pretty well these days. We're doing fried catfish, fried hush puppies, which is what this mixture here is. This is our hush puppy mixture. And queso. Because apparently cheese sauce or cheese queso is an Arkansas, I keep wanting to say Alabama, an Arkansas creation. We did Alabama already. Alright, these are going to go down in that keep warm oven, which I'm now going to cancel because I don't want it to be 170. And we're going to start trying to seeing what we get with these. I've never been gigantic fish person. What's next after Arkansas? California. I have no idea what I'm making next Sunday. For some reason, I feel like it should have kale involved. Well, considering California is often referred to America's salad bowl, might be doing salad. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I don't know how many hush puppies I want to do here. We're going to do a couple of them, but I don't know how many. Avocados from Mexico. We grow some avocado, but no, we read much more almonds, pomegranates, anything the Wonderful Company produces. However, at the same time, the Wonderful Company is not so wonderful. Yes, we do have Valencia, California, just north of LA. When I lived in LA, I used to travel there because I had a friend who lived near there. I threw the last of them in there. Trying to stick to local ingredients or local prefers. I haven't really put much restriction on it at all, Honey, other than I'm doing the state foods and trying my best in some form to represent each of the states. Some of them had desserts. Tonight we're not really doing a dessert. And considering that I'm in Sonoma, we can't have a conversation about California and not point out, you know, booze. Just in like, especially wine up here, but we make it all. Nope, Henny, I'm doing alphabetically, so we're early on here. I have done Alabama, which was, I did a smoked chicken with a white sauce. That was a delicious chicken, by the way. Like, I don't say that about a lot of dinners. That smoke on that chicken, even though I did that small little, like, at-home smoker and not, like, a real proper smoke, that was delicious. And since we're doing it alphabetically, that means North Carolina comes considerable amount of time before South Carolina. Dakota comes along way quicker than, you know. I said that, I started into that one, and I was like, is it North Dakota or South Dakota? Ditch our dry ingredients that we didn't need for our coating. I'm just looking at the color of them and being like, yeah, we can go a little bit longer on them. It's just going to help with this being a pretty dry cornmeal, which... For those just joining in, these are hush puppies, but I made them with jalapeno and cheese. I think it's actually better than I expected. I expected these to be too gritty. We're going to start reheating our queso back up. It's been sitting here getting cool. Put that back under a medium-low flame just to warm them up. I think I'm going to take the rest of these hush puppies out now. He's got a little bit of a kick too. That jalapeno is I'm already feeling that in my mouth. That's a little warmer than I want to hold on to, though. Welcome in, UBFG. Alright, let's grab some tortilla chips and finish out our dinner plate here. No, you're supposed to stay up on top. Thank you for the follow. Now, I could have put together some sort of quick, like, dipping sauce with that. But I thought with the cheese sauce is all we need, right? Cheese is all we need. Just warm up so it doesn't look so cold. Need you to warm up a little bit more, cheese sauce. Where are we putting our cheese sauce in? Oh, I think that's a winner. Yeah. Leaving the spider in the oil just to help cool it down that little bit more. Sauce needs just a little bit longer to warm up. Like, would you want also a tartar sauce with this dish on top of the cheese sauce? That said, I'm not going to stop and make tartar right now. I'm just curious of what everyone thinks. I don't have, I think, proper pickles for... Well, neither am I. So close to a perfect pour. No captions? Oh. Hi, John Ray. Give everyone a bit of this action. See what we got there. I think we gotta do this too. You're saying captions are being inappropriate? How dare captions be inappropriate? It's a cheesy sauce. It's a nice queso. It's a nice queso. It's maybe not as perfectly smooth as some you may get at the store because I used like real cheddar in this. The Monterey is going to make it smoother. If you want it to be perfectly smooth, you can just go straight American or Velveeta. Those chips are banging too. Like, they're one of those brands that like are a little bit hit and miss, but when they're hitting, they're really good. Other times they're just like oily and way too crispy, and these are some primo purchased tortilla chips here. Maybe it's too salty with salted commercial tortilla chips and my cheese sauce. Nah. Had enough time to put my knife there for the photo, and it still hasn't completely fallen. It's still, I mean, it's timbering, but it still hasn't reached the rim of that glass yet. I will admit that I did hit that cheese sauce up with a bit more salt too during the I don't know if it was the I think it was during the AFK. So welcome in, they can see me. Unfortunately, the dinner command got sort of knocked off. Exclamation now probably better, but we're doing tortilla chips with queso, hush puppies, and fried catfish. We're doing Arkansas tonight. I did not know that queso was an Arkansas thing. I mentioned this in Discord and we talked about it on stream a couple days ago. I didn't feel like doing a dessert on top of this. I didn't feel like doing breakfast. But apparently Arkansas has a thing about doing biscuits with chocolate. Like biscuits with the chocolate sauce poured over the top of them. Like they're like a breakfast thing along the lines of like pancakes almost, but with a lot of parallels there to pancakes, actually, but no. So if you haven't tried that out, that's something to give a shot. If you're looking for new creative breakfast ideas. I'm gonna go and enjoy my dinner. I shall be back here tomorrow night. The stream for tomorrow night is Ultimate Grilled Cheese. Not 100% sure on how I'm going to go about this. I have an idea, though. It's probably not what most people think of when they think of Ultimate Grilled Cheese, though. So I'm a little bit... Do I wanna? Don't really have the greatest tool for doing it either. But we can try. Yes, hush puppies I made with jalapeno in there. There's some American cheese in the hush puppies. But otherwise, they're largely just a wet cornmeal or cornbread batter. There's egg. I didn't add any chemical leaveners, but if you want to make them a little bit more airy, a little more bubbly, you can add in some baking soda or baking powder into the mix. Let's see who's out there on Twitch tonight. I wish you all a lovely holiday if you celebrate. I hope you had a great day, since it's probably the end of the day for anyone that's still celebrating. And I don't see anyone out there really tonight, so I think we're going to leave it right there. I shall be back here tomorrow night, folks. Ultimate Grilled Cheese Night for the Clip of the Month redemption for Noimu. I hope you come back to join me. We got the vote still going for Wednesday between sesame and fried mozzarella sticks. It's apparently back to being tied. I haven't looked in a day or two. So if you would like to see either me do sesame seeds or sesame in sesame form and or mozzarella sticks, this is your chance to have an influence on the vote in the Discord. I wish you all a lovely evening. See you back here tomorrow. Good night.